Welcome to Divine Empowerment. My name is Joanne, and I have completed your Soul Realignment Level 1 reading and clearing session. Now, I will be kind of talking a little bit fast in these videos, and I'm going to break this up into two videos just so that they'll process much more quickly. Now, the first video is going to be your soul profile. Now, this is all the basic information about who you are at soul level. Now, the primary energy of your soul is divine masculine. Now, of course, that has nothing to do with sex, okay? I am also primary divine masculine. It just means that we resonate more from the heart chakra up to the divine. All right, now the first thing that we're going to go over, and I will be reading a lot of stuff because I write everything out. I will be discussing your primary gift. Now, all of us have all of the gifts, and they make up our divine soul blueprint. However, we primary in one gift, which makes up the largest portion of our divine soul blueprint. Now, of course, everyone's blueprint is uniquely different, okay? So that's what makes one soul differ from the other. Now, your primary gift is the 5th energy center, divine communication. Now, this is the energy center of communication, self-expression, and authenticity. This is the realm of the teacher and the written and spoken word. They have a very special relationship with language. Words will have taste and substance for them. They are natural experts at communication. They can become exceptional writers, speakers, or both. They innately know how to inspire and move people into action through words. They excel at helping others change at the level of thought and mind by introducing new ways of looking at life through the written or spoken word. This often translates into the realm of business within the areas of marketing and sales, where excellent communication skills are key. It is imperative that 5th energy center people use their words in how they make a living. This is often what unlocks abundance for them. It is always important for them to have an audience of sorts to communicate with, whether that's one person or a group of listeners or readers. They are highly verbal people, often constantly talking, teaching, and having whole conversations in their own minds. They always need to talk things through, and one of the greatest gifts anyone can give them is to simply listen and let them work their thoughts through verbally. They are teachers, but are frequently even more comfortable in the realm of a student. They can be avid, lifelong learners and voracious readers. They can be prolific content creators and may be full of ideas of what to write and teach. However, because this is the realm of authenticity, it is vital that they express their own unique opinion and expertise, gathered through personal experience and the results that they themselves have created. They have strong opinions and perspectives, and their abundance will actually come by upholding their unique point of view publicly. They get on little soapboxes and are highly outspoken. Their inner wisdom frequently unfolds spontaneously when they communicate. Most especially, they will find themselves giving excellent advice that surprises even them when they are in conversation. They are a natural channel, and channeling happens in the moment. The negative polarity of this energy center is when their communication falls on deaf ears. Communication, after all, is a two-way street. If nobody is listening and engaging with their communications, 5th energy center people must either find an audience that actually values what they have to say or relay their message differently. If they don't address that nobody is listening, they may fall into inauthenticity and just start communicating what they think people want to hear. Unfortunately, they may also start simply rehashing what they have heard from other teachers or mentors, leading to plagiarism rather than authentic self-expression. Some fifth energy center people have become so conditioned to not speak their truth that they hide in the student role. They will endlessly read, learn, and study, but not actually do anything, because then they might actually have something original to express. It is important that they learn, do, and then teach from their personal experience if they are to unlock the abundance of their divine gifts. If this energy center continues to remain unheard, they will end up in the dysfunctional aspect of their gifts and communicate to no one. Their gifts may come out through unwanted and often inappropriate advice. They may also talk and talk and talk some more without any regard for who is listening or whether anyone wants to hear it. Their communication style may descend into verbal masturbation. They just talk for the sake of talking. If human beings aren't listening, they might find solace in the spiritual realm. They may journal and channel endlessly without ever publishing or serving the world through their gifts. Awesome. Okay, the next thing that we're going to go over is your soul group. Now, this is where your soul originated from. And we're from the same soul group, so awesome. And I do attract a lot of Mintakans. Mintakans love to be around other Mintakans. Now, we come from a planet called Mintaka. Mintaka is located in the constellation of Orion, and most Mintakans will recognize this constellation and constantly look at it in the night sky. Mintaka was a water world and a utopian civilization where no one made conscious negative choices. Mintakans have a very hard time with the amount of willful negativity on planet Earth. They do not understand choices to go to war, to hurt others, to lie, or to be mean. Their great gift is to see only the positive potential in others, and this makes others feel extremely good about themselves. Mintakans often have rose-colored glasses on. They focus on the positive side of life. The glasses always half full, and every cloud has a silver lining. They are often completely blindsided by other people's choices for negativity. They simply don't understand these choices. Mintakans tend to invest themselves heavily in other people's potential. They usually are everyone's cheerleader and the person others turn to when they need to feel good about themselves. Mintakans must develop greater discernment between someone's potential and the truth of who they actually are, as evidenced by their choices and current consequences. Mintakans have a tendency to take people on as projects. This is especially true of Mintakans in romantic relationships. They tend to pick partners based on who that person wants to become rather than who they are. Mintakans tend to overestimate others. Most people never actually step into their potential. They just enjoy being in the energy of someone who upholds it for them. Mintakans can end up highly disillusioned and disappointed by others. They give people 4, 5, or 6 chances, even when they are being heavily taken advantage of, because they don't expect negative choices from others. They must focus on embracing their own potential and actually leverage their ability to uplift others and bring out the best in them in a way that serves the Mintakan rather than exhausts them. Mintakans have an odd relationship with water. They will love being around it and in it. But some Mintakans don't like dark water, such as the ocean or a lake. On their homeworld, sun filtered through to the bottom of the ocean. Water is a very healing element for Mintakans, although being near it often fulfills that purpose. Because their homeworld is no longer inhabitable, Mintakans often feel a strange, sad longing for home. They love working from home and tend to be nesters. Awesome. Okay, the next thing that we're going to go over is your current soul vibration rate. Now, this is where your higher self is currently vibrating. Now, with this reading and clearing, your higher self is definitely going to shift into a higher dimension. And when this happens, you gain new levels of awareness, new levels of consciousness, and new aspects of yourself to have the physical experience with. Now, your higher self is currently vibrating at a 3.9. So you're right on the edge of the third dimension. So this will definitely be an exciting time for you, and you will feel this clearing work. It is definitely going to prepare your soul self to exit the physical body and enter the higher dimensions. Especially since you were only vibrating at a 3.9, meaning you're very connected to the physical world, okay? So sometimes that takes a little bit longer, but with this clearing work, it's going to be beautiful, okay? Now, also too with this work, which is what's so important, is that every time when we do this, see, I used to do this from the higher dimensions, okay? I don't normally incarnate very often. And so I would do this work from the higher dimensions in between lives, right? Or in between transitions. However, because the birthing process is so traumatic, and then you're an infant and you're 100% dependent on caretakers for the first 18 years of your life, and then you forget, you go into immediate separation from the divine, it just wasn't working. However, when we do this clearing from the third dimension, the physical dimension, which is the densest dimension, okay, this is when we see long-lasting effects. Now, every time we do this work, it heals our God spark. Now, this is where we access vital life force energy from spirit, from the divine, which is infinite. Now, because we have free will and choice, right, we can free willingly choose to negate ourselves away from our divine soul being, okay? And this causes God spark damage, which leads to premature aging, death, disease, illnesses. Our bodies just don't keep up. I mean, our bodies are designed to maintain themselves, right? I mean, we regenerate skin, we regenerate cells, but because we're not accessing all of our vital life force energy, which is what our body needs to continue to do this. So that's another very, very valuable reason for this work, and that's why we do it in the physical now. Now, you have 5 spirit guides in your inner spirit guides, your inner spirit guide circle. Now, these are the guides that are with you 24/7. And we're all born with one spirit guide. And then as we grow older and we become more and more independent, we're making more and more choices for ourselves, we subconsciously hire additional spirit guides. Now, one of your spirit guides was negative, okay? And all that means is there was something that occurred around the age of 16 years old that you decided to hire a negative spirit guide to uphold the energy so that you would not re-experience that. Now, of course, we want to dismiss this spirit guide and replace it with a much more aligned spirit guide with positive with positive energies, right? Now, the energy program that the negative spirit guide has been running was fear, okay? So hopefully this will alleviate any fear that you may be feeling or have been experiencing since you were 16 years old. All right, so that is the full soul profile. And I know that's a lot of information, so please feel free to rewatch this video as many times as you desire. Blessings into infinity. In the next video, I will be going over the actual soul realignment and the clearing portion of this session.